Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to all the Capricorns out there. If you're a Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node, this is your tarot reading for the upcoming month of April of 2025. And in case any of you are interested, I will be using my Spirit Song Tarot deck. I love it so much, and I hope you guys will as well. So, with all of that said, let's see what Capricorn has in store for April. So, at first, only two cards fell out, and they fell out together, and I was shuffling for so long. And in my head, I thought maybe I'm just supposed to speak on these two cards first. So I was finishing my shuffle as I had that thought, and I was gonna put the deck down. But as it like was the last like one, two, all of these other cards flew out. So the first two cards, we have the Page of Wands upright and the Seven of Wands reverse. And then in this little grouping with those two cards, we have the Two of Swords, Six of Pentacles reversed, Two of Cups reverse, Page of Swords reverse. And then in this other grouping, these four cards. Oh no. So one of the cards fell out on its own. The other three fell out together, but they all felt like they were meant to be together. This card is the only one that fell out facing me, so upwards. We have Justice reverse. And then these three cards fell out in a pile facing down. The Moon reverse. The Empress reverse. And then, if I can pick it up, the Hierophant upright. And what's interesting, as I turned over the other cards, the Hierophant was the last card that I turned over. So it was like reverse, 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 upright. Then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles upright. And under the Three of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Swords reverse, which I think has to do with this message. Phew! All right, funny enough, I'm being called to start not with the first cards that fell out, but with with what's on the left side over here. And that's fascinating because, and I'm just picking this up now as I say it, it's fascinating because the left hand path is considered the path of source, the path of divinity, the path of community. It's being of service versus the right hand path is usually considered the path of ego, the path of the self. And it's not necessarily one is better than the other. Sometimes we need to take this right hand path in order to learn what we need to learn to take the left hand path. But it's fascinating that I'm starting on the left. That wanted to be said. So with this little pile of cards that came out, I told you Justice was the only one that was facing upright. So it's the only energy of this little grouping that is evident to you. That's apparent. With Justice, you may feel right now that you are disconnected from truth, you're disconnected from clarity, that there's like maybe there has been situations in your life. It could be pertaining to a Libra because that is a Libra card, but that's not necessarily true. Just something that wanted to be said again. There could be situations in your life where you feel you were treated unfairly or that karma wasn't necessarily on your side for this because maybe you had something done to you. But then when you try to like get your comeuppance kind of thing, it was almost as if the universe favored them without even a second thought. And you're like, what? Or even if it was like a legal proceeding, for example, they ended up winning when you thought it was in the bag because you did nothing wrong in this situation. No, that's not okay. Never mind. I was gonna say but no, that's not what it doesn't want to be said. Either way, you feel very disconnected from clarity. You feel potentially disconnected from source. You feel like you are getting the shit end of the stick time and time and time again. And because of this, you're getting really in your head. And you're allowing that it's starting to penetrate your dreams and your subconscious and your unconscious, where now you are subtly programming these beliefs that things don't work out for you. And perhaps, especially if you're a Capricorn rising, but even if it's the sun or the moon, Saturn plays a big role in your life. So perhaps these are beliefs that were already pre-programmed, but now it's like now you're recognizing how life is mirroring these beliefs that you have internally, that things don't work out for you and that they're like life is hardship and and all of these things that are just honestly not true. But as a Saturnian, it's learning to trust the process and trust what's unfolding in front of you and not seeing it as injustice, but seeing it as part of the plan. And yeah, sometimes that part of the plan is fucking shitty. It's shitty. It's You can't do anything about it either. And I think at this point, especially if you guys are past your Saturn returns now, I think at this point you understand that up until now, like shit is just constantly hit the fan for you Saturnians. But it's about trusting that it's in your best interest, even if your ego doesn't like it, even if it hurts your feelings. Trusting that if this thing didn't happen when you were 25, if this shitty thing hadn't happened that left me nearly homeless, or like this relationship I poured all of my time and energy and effort into just ended up being for naught, and I started at square one kind of thing. All of these really deep emotional things that happened to you that seemed like they were unfair, if that never happened, you wouldn't have become Oprah, for example. Because Oprah didn't become Oprah until she was what, like 37 or something? I don't even like Oprah. I'm just using her as an example. Um, but it's that kind of idea where it's learning as you mature that these things needed to happen in order for you to become the person you're meant to become. And recognizing that, yeah, even if it seems shitty in the moment, it's about having the tenacity to rise above. And so going back to kind of the message here, the theme, this sense of injustice is causing a lack of clarity, a lack of truth, a lack of understanding. It's you could be questioning why. And you are now recognizing that these beliefs are subtly programmed into your subconscious, where life's not fair and why me, why me, why me. And it's almost like the subtle victim mentality that Capricorns, you guys don't typically carry. You guys are very good at taking ownership of yourself, of your actions, of your responsibility. But because of this thing that happened that brought about this, like, it was almost like you're like, are you like the breaking point where you're like, no, this is just what is going on? Why is this continuously happening to me time and time and time again? It's disconnecting you from your creativity. It's making you feel like you don't deserve abundance, or that abundance is not your birthright, which it is. It's making you feel like there's no creativity, there's no fertility, there's no truth, there's no honesty. It's like it's likely getting you really in the dumps, really in your own feelings, in your own mind, and it's just creating this sense of pessimism. But the key here is the upright hierophant. That's the key here. And the hierophant is all about divine knowledge. It's spiritual birthright. It's opening yourself up to act as a channel and a conduit to bring divine love and wisdom to this earth, to impart it unto others. So whether that means you're an actual channel or not, it could be. Some of you could be very spiritually gifted in that sense and can actually find a way to make a career out of this. And it will help you bring you up from these dumps. But that's not necessarily the case for everybody. What the message here is trusting that despite the injustice, despite the internalized negative belief system, despite this lack of hope or optimism or creativity, trusting that everything that's unfolding right now is for your highest good, and it's opening you up to avenues that you would not have had if you hadn't experienced this hardship. And I know you're probably like, my whole life has been hardship. When does it end? It does. It does end. It does end, and beauty comes. And I always like to say that the reversed cards, especially specifically the reversed major arcana cards, when they come out in spreads, it doesn't mean the upright energy is not available to you. It is. It's just around some obstacles. It's just breaking down the wall. Oh, I'm going to use this example from a meditation I did yesterday about removing blocks. Sometimes when you're first approaching the block, it can feel scary. It can feel and look like a giant brick wall that like think of like the Night's Watch wall. Like just this giant wall of ice that spans hundreds of miles and is like 50 miles tall. I don't even know how tall it is. I don't know. But the massive wall, right? Impenetrable as you approach it. That's what it feels like. But if you sit with it and you just take deep breaths and step yourself closer and 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 closer, all of a sudden, one of the breaths you take is going to blow the wall over like it was a piece of paper this whole time. And I think that has to do with the beliefs that need to be reprogrammed right now, Capricorn. That's where this divine spiritual wisdom, this Hierophant energy is coming in. Because you need to reprogram these beliefs, whether these beliefs have started to take root due to this injustice or whether they took root back in your childhood when you had to take on way too much responsibility way too soon. It's time to go in and reprogram these beliefs. It's time. Because as soon as you start taking that action, taking the accountable action to reprogram your belief system, you're going to slowly start to see things shift in your reality. Justice will be served. Your creativity comes back. Your sense of hope and optimism for the future either comes back or emerges if you've never felt that in your life, that as long as you can remember at least. And in order to help reprogram these, there's going to be some sort of divine help that comes in. And what's fascinating about the Three of Pentacles, that's like the fourth time I've used this word fascinating in this reading, which is fascinating. But what's interesting about the Three of Pentacles here, not only will this group or this person or these people come in to help bring you a sense of deeper personal understanding and help you reprogram those parts of yourself that need to be reprogrammed. It is time. They're not even going to come in as that. Like, they're not going to come in as a spiritual mentor or as a life coach or as like filmed as somebody specifically that was brought to you in order to help reprogram and recalibrate you. They're going to come in as a business partner of sorts. It's going to come in as a person who wants to collaborate on something having to do with either your current career path or maybe you've had an idea for a career or a business for years and you just happen to meet somebody at the bar when you decided to go read your book there alone just because you needed a minute, and this person sits next to you and at first you're annoyed because you're like, I'm just trying to read, but then you get to talking and you're like, holy shit, we can help each other out here, and they start to bring that idea to life. Whatever it is, it's going to be something that has to do with like your general sense of productivity. There's a blue jay right outside my window right now. General sense of productivity in your working world, but the relationship you'll have with this person or these people are going to help you see the serendipity of life again, the magic, the synchronicity. It's going to help you just, oh, I have chills, being in their presence and being present in their present and experiencing all of the little things that fall into place in regards to whatever this path offers you, whatever you guys will create together. It will open you up to the belief in magic and the belief in a higher power and the belief that, you know what, I wouldn't have even thought of this idea to talk to this person unless I had gone through that heartbreak when I was 23, or I was made almost homeless in when I was 25. And they'll help you see how every single battle, every single hardship that you fought up until this point brought you to that bar to meet that person for a reason. I am lit up by chills right now, like my whole body, on my legs, on my arms, everything. So there is truth here. And not only that, it's this sense of relationship will help you. This is the Eight of Swords reverse. Help you break out of this mental prison that you've put yourself in for probably years without even realizing you put yourself in. And that mental prison was formed and created due to the negative belief system that you had in place. So as you work towards whatever it is, this thing you're going to create with this person or this group of people, as you work towards that, you are reprogramming yourself. You're taking yourself out of your self-imposed prison. You're holding yourself more accountable because you're starting to see how you were the one that put yourself in the self-imposed prison because you allowed yourself to be beaten down by life. And I'm not saying, Capricorn, that it wasn't for a reason, because Saturnians can have like you guys can go through so much and still just put your shoes on and go to work the next day and act like nothing even is bothering you. You go through so much. So I don't blame you for this belief system that was put in place. I don't blame you for having a pessimistic view of life, but this situation is going to show you that there is more. There is joy, there's abundance, there's creativity, there's flow, there's divinity, there is serendipity. And you get to experience it too. It's not just for other people. You get to experience it too. And the more you allow yourself to be present and open up to that serendipity, to those synchronicities, the more you're reprogramming yourself and the more you're coming back into alignment with your true destiny. And I think that's fucking beautiful. And I think rather than going through the individual cards on this side, it's more of a general message, especially with both pages, the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords. It's being open to understanding and receiving the deeper messages that the universe may bring through the most like random of places. It's not wearing headphones when you walk to the store one day because you know, like you have this intuitive feeling. You're like, I'm not supposed to wear them. I don't know why I always wear them. I'm not supposed to today because there will be somebody talking on the phone as they walk by you and say, just look, you'll overhear them say something that drops right in and gives you a deeper insight on something. It's being open to these messages in the most obscure ways. And it's the choice too with the two of swords. It's the choice and the decision to follow those directions, to follow this idea despite your internal programming. Follow the belief that there is deeper magic out there for you to experience. It's really the choice, because if you start experiencing the serendipity but you're still telling yourself, yeah, but you know, it's a fluke, it's not, then it's going to be, then you're going to be right. You're going to be right. It's just going to be a fluke. It's believing and trusting and knowing that you deserve this sense of ease. You deserve this sense of peace. You deserve this sense of serendipity. It's that word that wants to keep coming up. You deserve it. And it's not going to come to you in some sort of like romantic divine union. It's not going to come to you through your ability to give back. Right now, you're supposed to be focusing your energy on yourself. And if you try to pour into others just as like a distraction to try to make you feel better about yourself, it's not going to give you the satisfaction you think it will. It's not going to. It's going to take away your sense of determination and your sense of ability to trust in what is being delivered to you. And I think this two of swords here is the biggest card on this side. It's the choice, it's the decision that you make to trust and to believe in what you can't see, even if it's impractical, Capricorn. You guys have been using your practical logical mind for too long, and it's time to tap into that which you can't necessarily prove, but you can feel and you can know. And that might seem crazy right now, but whatever this connection is, this 3 of Pentacles connection that's coming in for you, it's going to help you open up to those realities. It will. Another 2. We have the 2 of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. And then the way that the deck was like holding, we also had Death under the Ace of Wands. That's how I saw it. Huh. No, it's really just confirmation. I have chills again. This is just confirmation. Because the wand suit is about experience, it's experiencing life, but it's also trusting in your intuition and following your spirit and following your passions towards a sense of general optimism and towards creativity and towards love. And we only had the Ace and the 2 of Wands come out. So it's just the beginning. But it's this beginning that will set you. Oh, I love that. I love that. So with this deck, all of the cards have like 2 little keywords that connect to each card. And for the Ace of Wands, one of them is creative force. Creative force and confidence. Oh my God. Huh. I did a session of psychic or psych K, I think is what it's called, which I never heard of before, but my friend was doing an online session, so I joined. If you resonate with the idea of feeling creative insecurity, put your fingers on your collarbone and then drop down until you feel like the squishy part right here, and just gently rub in circles. that is the area that can help alleviate, bring up and alleviate that sense of creative insecurity. And it's just calming. It feels good. It feels so good. If you feel a sense of shame, gently rub with your thumb this space in between your thumb and your pointer finger. Because I think Capricorns, shame can be a big one for you guys. And it's the fear of shame just the sense of shame for not being able to provide that can hold you back and keep you in areas that you really shouldn't be in. You really shouldn't be in because it prevents you from actually living your life due to a sense of duty. So I think those could help you. But like I was saying, the Two of Wands and the Ace of Wands, it's all about trusting that whatever these people can bring in. And again, you don't even have to tell them the way they're helping you transform. You just have to be present with yourself through it. But the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands, it's trusting that this new beginning is meant for you and then taking the time to kind of sit there and have the focus in order to make the decision to actually move forth towards this new beginning, towards creative abundance, towards trusting your intuition, towards allowing your passions to drive you rather than that sense of duty, rather than logic. And I love that these fell out after I just mentioned that logic point too. And again, we were just with the Two of Swords, we were just talking about that sense of choice, that sense of decision, to help you determine your direction. And it's funny because it'll feel like a choice, but Capricorn, I think once you start to not only feel the subtle reprogramming happening within you, but also see that reprogramming mirrored in your everyday life, it's going to be an easy choice to make. You're going to be like, well, I followed my logic for up until this point in my life, and I've only been met with hardships. So why not try something new? Why not try to follow my intuition? Why not try to listen and hear my intuition, period? Why not try to follow my passions and see where that gets me? Because this project I'm working on with whatever group of people this is, it formed from a passion, and now look where it's taking me. Even if it's not doing a lot like in the physical world, which I think it could for some of you, but even if we're not focused on the physical world, it's ultimately transforming who you are internally. And again, I can't forget we have death on the bottom of the deck. We have death on the bottom of the deck. So your decision to go forth and follow your intuition and trust your guidance and step out of logic and into the realm of serendipity, into the realm of passion, into the realm of creativity, it's going to open up new parts of yourself you have never met before. You're going to feel like a kid again in a way that you never really probably got to experience in childhood. And I think that's beautiful. And I think it's exactly what you deserve, Capricorn. You deserve a life of joy and ease and play and abundance and creativity and justice. I didn't forget what they did. I didn't forget what they did. But you're not supposed to focus on that. It's almost as if this sense of injustice was more of just like a breaking point and a tipping point for you to finally say, you know what? I have no other choice now. Why not trust in spirit? Why not? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If I've trusted in logic and I've trusted in what I can see this whole time and it's just met me with heartache and heartbreak, why not try something different? Why not? It's a choice. It's your choice, Capricorn. But I think I know what you choose. Woo! I like this. Oh man. But with all of that said, this was, of course, a general reading, so it's possible not everything resonated. If that's the case, you can book with me for a personal reading in my website, linked in the description below. And there you can book for tarot, astrology, human design, and numerology. If you did like this reading at all, leave me a like and leave me a comment and let me know how it resonated. And of course, I do this every single month for all of the signs. So if you're interested in getting your forecast for the month ahead, according to the tarot cards, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Capricorn, I would love to have you guys here in the future. So I love Capricorns. I'm a Cancer. I adore Capricorn placements. Capricorn sun, Capricorn moons, especially. Some of my favorite people in the world are Capricorn moons. Capricorn rising, you guys are hot. I don't know if I know any Capricorn north nodes, but I'm sure I do. Maybe. I don't know. They'd be a lot younger or a lot older than me. So I have to look at some birth charts. But anyway, back to you. Cap, it's time to start trusting in spirit, time to start listening and trusting in your intuition, and time to start believing that the magic of life is meant for you too. Because it is, and you deserve it. I love you guys.